All right, guys, is your website outdated? If so, we've got 5 great tips to know when it's time for you to make an update. Today, we're going to talk about 5 critical pieces to know that your website needs to be updated. Number 1, our very first point is making sure you're following SEO best practices. Now listen, there's a lot baked into SEO and making sure it's operating well. We've got a whole in-house team of experts to make sure that's being followed fundamentally on our client accounts. However, what you can do is search for yourself as a care provider locally in your city, see who's showing up. What matters most for the end user is if they're searching for something related to a condition treatment or finding you locally as a care provider, they need to make sure they are finding pages on your site that are directly talking about those search queries and answering their questions. Number 2 is strictly about website load time. Your key metric here is 3 seconds. You need to make sure your website's fully loaded within 3 seconds. That's the average amount of time users are willing to wait before they jump to another site in the search results. So some key areas you can use to test your load time are linked in the description. Number 1 is Google's Page Speed Insights. You can actually drop in your URL. It'll give you a score back and let you know where you're falling short. Number 2 is with GT Metrics. It's a third-party free tool. Dump in your website. It'll give you a complete download of what is going slow and where you need to improve your website. Number 3 is strictly about user experience. User experience can be defined as the journey and the overall experience the user has when they're on your site. It's how they are perceiving your brand, your messaging with the content they're being delivered. Bottom line, if users get to your site, it's hard to navigate on mobile specifically. They're gonna leave, so make sure you are nailing user experience because it is becoming a very critical piece of general performance today. Number 4 is strictly about delivering a good experience on mobile devices. I'm hammering this one home as a continuation of number 3 about user experience because it has such a massive impact. The majority of users conduct searches on mobile devices. Over 60% of users have reported that they are likely to call a local provider if they're delivering a good mobile experience over someone that has a poor experience. All you need to do, go to your website on mobile, make sure some of the key features work, make sure the menu's easy to go through, images still look clean and crisp, your contact form works as intended, and at the top, they've got a phone number the user can simply tap on and it opens up their phone dialer, so it's very easy and unintrusive for them to reach out to you. Number 5, and our final point here, is about your website's timeline and when it was last updated. Listen, users are gonna get used to an experience and they're gonna know when something's out of date visually when they compare it to other competitors. So something important to keep in mind is if your website has been lingering for a couple of years, it hasn't really had content updated, it's not evergreen, you need to make sure you're getting it updated. You have a few options there, of course. There's plenty of builders out there. We, of course, would love to be able to take on that job for you, which is why down in the description, you can find a link to our consultation page. Go ahead, click it. We'll get you set up with a free initial consultation to dive through your website to see what we can do for your marketing efforts.